My heart nearly stopped the day my rich neighbor's teenage son, a cocky black belt in karate, squared up to the quiet black single dad next door and demanded a fight right there on our suburban street. He had no idea the man he was challenging had once led a Navy SEAL team through missions most of us only see in movies. What happened next didn't end in punches or bruises. It ended in something far more powerful, kindness that changed every life it touched. If this story moves you the way it still moves me, do me a favor right now, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and drop a comment telling me about a time kindness surprised you. It means the world to our little community here at. Thank you. I still remember the first time I saw Marcus Johnson move into the house 2 doors down. He was a tall, soft-spoken black man in his early 40s with 2 young kids, a boy about 8 and a girl maybe 6. No wife in the picture. Just him, a beat-up pickup truck, and a quiet determination that made you respect him without knowing why. He worked long hours at the local warehouse, came home exhausted, yet still found time to play catch in the front yard or help his daughter with homework on the porch steps. Our neighborhood was mixed, some big houses with perfect lawns, some smaller ones like mine and Marcus's. The biggest house belonged to the Harringtons. They had money, a shiny new SUV, and a 16-year-old son named Tyler who walked around like the world owed him applause. Tyler was a black belt. He'd won tournaments. His parents posted every trophy on social media. He was polite enough when adults were watching, but among the kids he had a sharp edge. He liked reminding people who was stronger, who was better, who lived in the bigger house. One Saturday afternoon the kids were playing basketball in the cul-de-sac. Marcus's son, little Jamal, accidentally knocked the ball into Tyler's carefully washed car. It left a tiny smudge. Nothing major. But Tyler lost it. He stormed over, shoved Jamal, and started yelling about respect and how people like you needed to learn their place. Marcus came out of the house still wearing his work shirt, grease on his hands, and stepped between them. He didn't raise his voice. He simply asked Tyler to calm down and apologize to his son. Tyler laughed in his face. "You gonna make me, old man? I could drop you in 2 seconds. Black belt. You ever even thrown a punch?" The other kids froze. Neighbors started peeking out windows. I was standing on my porch with a glass of iced tea, heart pounding. Marcus just looked at the boy for a long moment. Then he said, quiet and steady, "I don't need to fight you, son. Fighting never fixed what kindness can." Tyler's face went red. He shoved Marcus in the chest. "Chicken. Fight me right now or admit you're scared." Marcus didn't move. He didn't even flinch. He simply turned to Jamal, put a hand on his shoulder, and said, "Go inside and start your homework. Daddy's got this." Then he looked back at Tyler and spoke so softly the whole street leaned in to hear. "I've spent years teaching men how to fight. I've also spent years teaching them when not to. The strongest thing a man can do is walk away when his pride is screaming at him to prove something. I'm walking away. You're welcome to keep standing here if that's what you need." He turned and headed toward his front door. Tyler yelled after him, called him every name he could think of, but Marcus never looked back. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying the scene. The next morning I saw Marcus loading boxes into his truck for a weekend shift. I walked over and asked if he was okay. He smiled that tired, gentle smile and said, "Kid's hurting. Somebody taught him that power is the only language that matters." I used to believe that too. Then, almost as an afterthought, he added, before the warehouse, before the kids, I led a SEAL team. Afghanistan. Iraq. Places where kindness felt like a luxury we couldn't afford. Turns out it was the one thing that kept us human. He didn't say it to brag. He said it the way a man shares a hard truth he's carried alone for too long. Word spread fast, the way it does in small neighborhoods. Tyler's parents were mortified. They marched him over the next evening with a plate of cookies and forced apologies. Tyler stood on Marcus's porch looking smaller than I'd ever seen him. Marcus invited them in. I know because I was across the street pretending to water my flowers. Through the open window I heard Marcus talking about discipline, about real strength, about how a black belt means nothing if the heart behind it is empty. He told Tyler about a night in the mountains when his team was pinned down and the only way out was to carry a wounded enemy fighter to safety so the man's own people wouldn't keep shooting. That decision saved more lives than any bullet I ever fired, Marcus said. Kindness isn't weakness. It's the hardest form of courage there is. Something shifted in Tyler that night. Over the next weeks I watched him change. He started helping Jamal with basketball instead of bullying him. He offered to mow Marcus's lawn when the single dad pulled double shifts. One afternoon I saw Tyler sitting on the porch steps teaching Jamal's little sister how to tie a proper martial arts knot for her school project. His voice was patient. His hands were gentle. The rich kid who once demanded a fight was learning how to give instead of take. Marcus never asked for credit. He kept working, kept raising his kids, kept living the quiet life of a man who had already proven everything that needed proving. But the neighborhood felt different. People waved more. Kids played together without the usual ranking by house size or skin color. Tyler's parents started inviting Marcus and the kids over for cookouts. At one of those cookouts Tyler stood up, cleared his throat, and told the whole group he was quitting tournament fighting for a while. I want to teach little kids self-defense the way Mr. Johnson taught me, he said. Not how to win. How to protect. How to walk away when walking away is the stronger choice. I think about that day often. A rich neighbor's black belt son demanded a fight and walked away with a lesson no dojo had ever given him. A black single dad who once led SEALs chose kindness over pride and changed a boy's entire direction. In a country that sometimes feels loud and divided, their story still whispers the truth we all need. Real power doesn't come from the belt around your waist or the size of your house. It comes from the choice to see the human being in front of you and treat them with the dignity every soul deserves. So the next time someone challenges you, someone smaller or louder or richer or poorer, remember Marcus on that suburban street. Remember the quiet strength that refused to throw a punch and instead threw open a door. Kindness isn't soft. Kindness is the strongest force any of us will ever carry. Go spread some of it today. The world is waiting.